Hello and welcome to Rollin Solo, where I, a humble halfling, take you through this journey of creating a sort of single player solo RP style, Dungeons and Dragons style campaign and storytelling experience. I will be basically tweaking mechanics as I go because I'm still figuring out what works and what doesn't. But let's do a little rundown, if you will. I am basically the DM and the player simultaneously, and along with the cards that I have of different options that I will be going through, I will be using a virtual dice roller. This is just a generic one you can find on Google, but I will be using this to help me roll the dice, to tell the story. It's going to be very similar to Dungeons and Dragons. I will be rolling for different things like player count, well, technically party count, what kind of conflict we're dealing with, interactions, how they're going to go, insight, stealth, the typical things I would roll for, but also just in a way that works in a single player setting. So let's consider this sort of a test run, not necessarily an episode 0, but or campaign 0, but let's consider this a test. So starting off, we're going to use this d6 here and roll for the number of party members we will have on this journey. This journey that won't be a full journey, but just to see how things are working, how things will work. We will have a party of 3. Awesome. Next up, we roll for location. Where does our story start? So let's get rid of that. Get a d10 up here. Let's roll for it. 5. Looking at my card. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is a beach. Ooh. And then we get to roll. See, where is the card? Where is the card? I totally have this all set up. Like I said, this is very much just a first attempt. I had the card. Don't know what happened to the card. I have found the card for main conflicts. It was literally right in front of me. I am that blind. So we will get... Let's roll a d6 since there is not a d5. So, probably end up just nixing one of these because one of those is a combo of 1 and 2 on the card. But, let's roll. 5, invasion. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. So we've got a party of 3 starting off on a beach, and there's an invasion as the main conflict. Okay, okay. Since we know the party we have, let's get a d10 up here and roll for their different classes. So starting off, we've got 8. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is cleric. So we've got a cleric. All right, what's next? Thief. All right, and who is our final party member? Well, did I just count the last one wrong? Healed. No, let's re-roll for that second one because I think I miscounted the card. So we've got a cleric. Oh, you know what? I like this better. Cleric and necromancer. There's going to be some conflict there. And a monk. Oh, this is going to be interesting. We got this cleric, necromancer, and monk chilling on a beach one day. The cleric and the necromancer aren't exactly doing too well, but you know what? They've worked together pretty darn well this far. But let's just say the 3 of them have been palling around, just traveling together, working things out. They've helped each other out of some sticky situations before, and they've decided to sort of take a bit of a break. They're enjoying a relaxing day on the nice sort of like pale pink salmony sands of Nerona. Just letting the sun shine in, letting each other just sort of be. Our monk, let's call them Talon. Oh, I like that. Our monk Talon is kind of just walking the shoreline, letting these sort of just like beautiful, crystal clear, like turquoisey water sort of just like come in and out, go over his feet as he's just walking the shoreline, kind of collecting just little pieces of sea glass and some cool shells and rocks that he likes. Put them in his pouch, in his belt. While our cleric and necromancer are back, just laying out some blankets in the sand. They've got their robes laid out on the beach, acting like towels almost. And they're arguing as they always do, because a cleric and a necromancer obviously wouldn't see eye to eye. And as these two are arguing, some dark clouds start coming in. They don't think much of it at first until there's an eerie sort of glow to them as the thunder starts to kick in, as the clouds come closer. It's a bit of like an eerie, like green glow that comes with each rumble. Like a green lightning almost within these clouds. Now, these three aren't the only ones on this beach. This is very much a sort of just a public beach, not too far from the small little village of Nerona? Nerona. Yeah, the small village of Nerona. Like, this is the local beach. So it's them and the village locals just spending a day on the beach as the storm comes in, and with it, the ground sort of begins to kind of shake. The sand sort of simmers and bounces as just from deep beneath the sand, these skeletal like hands just rise up and out and start pushing themselves out of the sand, and these creatures start sort of merging from beneath these pink sands. Now our cleric here, let's call him Clarin the cleric, while thrown off, he's a little just not too surprised, because he just initially thinks, oh, this is the necromancer's work. This is them raising the dead just to prove a point and be annoying, because it wouldn't be the first time. They've butt heads a lot on the afterlife and life and death, and just leaving the dead be. And they start just ripping into this necromancer. Let's call him, or let's call, you know what? Mix it up. Let's call her. I'm trying to think, what's a good fantasy name? Talon Clarin and the necromancer Meryl. Or you know what? Marilia. That sounds more fantasy. Marilia. So Clarin's just blaming Marilia, like, I've told you so many times, this is not cool. I get it. You want to prove a point. Raising the dead is a cool power. But you can't just keep doing this at will. And Marilia's just like, I don't know how to tell you this, but this isn't me. I'm not the one doing this. And as they're arguing, the storm is getting closer and closer. The thunder's getting louder and louder. Green lightning is hitting the sands, causing just the pink sands to sort of spray everywhere with each strike on the beach. More and more of these sort of skeletal creatures are merging. And with that, everyone starts to flee. Everyone starts to run. It takes a lightning strike right at their feet to really snap them out of this argument. And the two basically grab their things, throw their robes back on, and run to the Talon and regroup. I think so far this is working out pretty well. What do you guys think? I definitely feel like I need more things to roll for. So this is definitely interesting. Ooh, let's roll for an interaction with each other. I think I have that card. So this is going to require a d6. So what do these three do when they reconvene, when they join back up? 6. They kind of just ignore each other and just beeline it. They follow everyone else as lightning is striking around them. More of these creatures are just emerging from the sand and just forcing everyone off of this beach, leading them back into the town of Nerona. They're this village of Nerona. Weirdly enough, for some reason, these things aren't leaving the beach, though. They are basically making the beach their home base. Like, these skeletal creatures, they are these tall, sort of lanky things, almost like a puppet in a sense. Like some sort of mannequin resembling a skeleton, but not quite actually a skeleton. Like, it's got this sort of withered appearance to it, where the skin is leathery and just worn, and it's a weird, like, purple texture, but with a little bit of like a green glow from within, sort of showing like a weird, like, veiny under texture, or like an underlayer. Their eyes are just sunken in and almost completely invisible, aside from a similar green glow where the eyes would be, to just like the glow of the lightning and the glow emanating from within them. And they sort of just like hunch over because they're just these sort of just towering skeletal beings in a sense. And they are just taking over this beach and making it theirs. And then at the center of this is this sort of like bubbling area in the beach, like the middle of the beach, center of this cluster of creatures. And from it, you just see this giant, like, claw, like this withered claw hand, similar in texture to these creatures, rise up and sort of just slam into the sand. As another one just reaches up and out of the sand and does the same. And this giant creature, similar in likeness to these other skeletal beings, pushes itself out of the sand. Its eyes are not a glowing green, but a purple. A bright, like almost pinky purple. Like a fire just burning where the eyes would be in the sockets. His jaw is just long and low, with these almost tusks kind of just coming up from the bottom jaw and over where the top lip would be, because it's literally just like a walking skeleton with the thinnest skin on it. Similar to the creatures, it emanates a green glow from within, showing that weird veiny underlayer. But along with it is a similar pinkish purple glow. So it's almost like a weird pulsating, like, pattern of this green and purple from within its body. From its shoulders, like these huge, like, spiky, I guess spikes, if anything, are just shooting out from it. And it sort of goes down the sides of its arms. And similar spikes are running down its back and up its cheekbones. And the three just sort of stop and watch this thing as it just completely pulls itself up and out of the sand and stand up, towering over these already tall creatures. And with that, they make one final run for the village and head towards the nearest inn where they have been staying this whole time. And that's where I'm going to end that, because I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. Again, this is just It's not even necessarily an actual episode. Like, it's not even like a campaign 0. This is just a test run. Just a bit of a snippet of what to expect. So, you guys tell me what you think. If you have any ideas for things I could add on to, like, mechanics-wise, because it's very much just sort of a single-player campaign where you're just telling a story. Or, well, where I'm telling a story to you guys. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see this grow, and I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Also, I mean, if you guys really want, I could try to continue this as like a test story, just to really work things out. So, tell me if you like where this story is starting. And I might use this starting episode as the story to really test the mechanics out as we go. So yeah, leave a comment about that.